I'm a little conflicted right now. Before I was, yes, I am not voting for Biden. But now I'm like, you know what? A lot of my Mexican homeboys, Salvadorian, a lot of people that are DACA recipients, and a lot of Asian homies that's DACA recipients that, I guess that would be my privilege. I don't have to go day to day hoping I don't get, I've interviewed and did documentaries on people that have to, scared to walk outside because if they get pulled over, they're going to go to jail because they ain't got, they trying to become citizens. But now that they put out all the information, because Obama said that don't worry about it, DACA, you straight, you ain't have to worry about nothing. This is your pathway to citizenship. And Trump is saying no. So they living with an anxiety that I don't have to deal with. And I can't just push. I have to be mindful of that because that matters to me, because they matter to me. So that's the thing that have me against on the fence. If I say I'm not voting for a certain candidate, I won't vote for them when my vote actually do matter. When it actually do matter, I wouldn't. If you think that I'm gonna just give it to you, too many people die for me to vote to just give it away to somebody. I don't think anybody should endorse Joe Biden. If Biden wants an endorsement from any progressives, you know what he needs to do? He needs to change his policies. He needs to earn the vote. We don't need to just give him a vote. Why I gotta give you my vote? What do you think an election is for? This is a movement. Bernie Sanders represented the movement, but the movement is bigger than one person. Period, point blank. The movement is bigger than one person. So because Bernie dropped out and he wants to, and this is not a surprise to us. Bernie said it out the gate. We knew the whole time that he was going to support Biden. Obviously, we all thought that he was going to win, but we knew that he was going to support Biden. But when he did it, it stung a little bit. And I told y'all out the gate that I felt like he needed to be more aggressive. I felt like he needed to call Biden out on this bullshit, and he never did. He needed to call him out on his history, on him lying every time before he say something. Oh, my friend Joe Biden. Yes, me and Joe can win. Come on, man. What you doing? We over here. Y'all got to start gang banging a little bit. Blood and cripping. Nah, we over here, homie. And what is a revolution like I brought up before? Y'all remember when Libya had that revolution? Y'all remember that? Was they trying to get along with the government? What happened? Gaddafi died. Once again, I'm not endorsing no violence. I ain't talking about none of that. But the shit ain't cute. The shit ain't friendly. The powerful, they're not just willing to pack up. Their whole career has been bent on doing what they've done to establish themselves. You think they're going to just say, oh, here go a new regime of young people that feel like we've been doing things wrong. Let's just bow out and give it to them. No, they're going to fight to the death. And that's why normally in a revolution, a lot of people die.
Martin Luther King Jr. said militarism, materialism, racism, and poverty, they're going to suck the very juice out of democracy. So this is this is an international affair, because a baby in Ethiopia and Guatemala, a baby in Argentina, a baby in Flint, a baby in Tel Aviv, a baby in Gaza, a baby in Chile, and a baby in Mississippi have exactly the same value, exactly the same significance. That's what Bernie Sanders understands. That's what he represents at the heart of who he is.
So I had a conversation with Cornel West last night, and I told Cornel West, I said, you know what? A lot of people are talking about Bernie as and his platform being a revolution, and we're not ready for a revolution and trying to scare America. I said, you need to marry Bernie's platform with the history of America, because America started from a revolution. Everything that where we are is because of a revolution. I'm talking about today. Everything that we've done to progress as a nation has been based on a revolt, whether it was the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, the New Deal, civil rights. All those things were revolutions to push us forward. So if he can marry the history of this nation with the platform, understand this is who we are. This is what America is. And he kind of did that today when he started talking about what's radical. Was it radical a couple, 10 years ago that gay marriage? Was it radical that we would have a black president? Like, he actually kind of went there and married the history of this country with the history of this country with his platform. And I thought that was great, because what that does is that allows us to identify who we are.
Nelson Mandela, one of the great heroes in modern history, said something that was very profound and appropriate for today. And he said, Everything seems impossible until it is done. If we were here 70 years ago and somebody said, you know what, the day will come when we'll have an African-American president, people would have said, don't be ridiculous. The day will come when gay marriage will be legal in America. Don't be crazy, that will never happen. The day will come when we'll have women governors and senators all over this country. Don't be crazy, that can't happen. Point is that throughout history, the major impediment to progress is not just a very powerful ruling class. The major impediment is the limitations of our own imagination.
Just speaking on what you were talking about earlier about Kamala Harris's endorsement, to me it makes everything seem so disingenuous. It makes everything seem like it's theater, it's an act. Yeah. In addition to looking at her endorsement this morning, we went back and looked at the debate where she challenged and she confronted Joe Biden about her being the first, was part of the second part of the debusing and how it hurt her and how she was so hurt, and it seemed so genuine.
In the last few days, Senator Cory Booker and Kamala Harris both endorsed Joe Biden for president. They had no shortage of effusive praise for Joe Biden. Watch.
I am, with great enthusiasm, going to endorse Joe Biden for President of the United States. We need a leader who really does care about the people and who can therefore unify the people. And I believe Joe can do that.
Our divisions as a country is our weakness. We need the candidate that can best unify all of us, and that is Joe Biden.
It was less than a year ago that Cory Booker was whining that Biden would be a disastrous nominee who would divide the party. Watch.
There's a lot of people who are concerned about Joe Biden's ability to carry the ball all the way across the end line without fumbling. And I think that Castro has some really legitimate concerns. There was a lot of moments where a number of us were looking at us on our stage when he tends to go on sometimes. At one point, he's talking about people in communities like mine listening to record players.
He said Joe Biden's senile. He's totally out of it. He can't carry the ball because he's too old. He's not capable of being president. That's what he just said in that tape. Kamala Harris, meanwhile.
I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
So what happened? He was senile, he was a bigot, and now he must be president. Well, the answer, of course, is it was all a sham. Harris never really meant it. Like most claims of racism you hear in politics, it was totally fake and totally transactional.
It's all theater, man. And I'm frustrated because it just goes to show like how politics is just all about positioning yourself. Obviously, she wanted to see if she can become the vice president. That's what it's all about. That's what it's been about. I was next to the press corps and I was talking to them, a female and a male, both white, and they felt they was like, how is he even here right now? And I started talking about the what he's done in the past, what Joe Biden's done in the past. It was like, absolutely, like that's what we don't get. Like, why is he here? They said we're amazed that he has the momentum, but you know we're not supposed to have an opinion. So they ain't saying nothing. They getting paid. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But they couldn't believe it, and they was like, "Yeah, I don't know why anyone isn't challenging him."
What have Biden and Obama done for Flint? So there's obviously a lot of discussion that people have, like, oh, Obama came and he drank the water, and we talked about this the other night in the interview.
In our documentary, the guy said that was the worst thing he could have ever done. The black guy at the greenhouse that we were in front of, and we pulled up and he got out of his car. He said that was the worst thing Obama could have ever done is drink the water to give people confidence, knowing that they wasn't for sure if the water was good or not, but to give people a false confidence that the water was safe. Michael Moore even said that when he was on MSNBC. Like that was the worst thing Obama could have done.
Follow the police.
Keep an eye on them so they won't get out of line. I'm back enough. I'm media. I'm back enough. See my media pass on? Okay, I can be wherever I want to be unless you're detaining me. Unless you're detaining me. I can walk right here if I want to walk. I know I can. I know my law. I'm walking. We need 5 minutes. Stop. You better watch who you're talking to. Okay, you better watch who you're yelling at.
Talk to me with some respect, boy. I'm not your boy. Yes, you are my boy. You my boy, you work for me. I don't work for you. Yes, you do, punk. What you talking about? No, I ain't the wrong cop. I know who I'm looking at. You punk.
We always are going to remember and honor the life of Mike Brown and anyone murdered by NYPD or any other killer cop.
To get out here right now, like what you, we're live right now. What you want to tell them to get out? Where are we right now? I'm from LA, I don't know the area, I'm sorry.
We're in Times Square, right now. And if people are in the Times Square area, we do ask that they come out. Because we're about to enter hostile territory.
You can't push it. You can't use your word. Push it. Oh, she pushing her. Look, pushing her. Oh, hold on, shit.
Go do some fucking work. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Don't touch us. Don't fucking touch us. Fucking stupid. Pussy.
You like that last video? Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where the progressives have a voice. And remember, share this, like it, subscribe to the channel so we can grow. The Section Independent, that part.